Listen, I'm going to try to give you guys 5 quick tips, and I generally hate doing sort of quick tip videos. I think that they're usually full of rubbish, like, post every day at this time, or, make sure that this is in your caption, or hashtags, or all this kind of crap that really doesn't do anything for content. But I'm going to try my best to boil down to really 5 quick tips, and I'm sure this is not going to be quick because it's probably going to be 10 minutes, but 5 quick enough tips on how to actually get twice, 3 times the amount of reach, engagement on your social media posts. And this is hard earned knowledge that I've gained from working with some of the biggest brands in the world, some of the biggest creators. To date, we're at about 12 billion views across all the brands and companies and creators that we've worked with. So this is not just something that I'm regurgitating from what I've read online. This is actually hard earned, street smart stuff that you can use for your content. And I'm going to try to do it as best as possible to go through these things that will help you. One of the biggest things, number one, is psychology. Almost everything on social media is related to psychology. So if you don't study psychology, if you don't study how people actually relate to things, how people perceive things, what triggers people, what triggers emotions, if you don't study those things, you will never be a great creator, because you need to understand what gets under people's skin, what gets them to motivated to do something. And if you don't know those things, then there's a lot of books on this. There's a lot of information on what psychological things you can do to make your content better. I mean, a good example is this caption that I have, or this text that I have on this content here, these 5 quick tips. I mean, people want something, right? They want something of value, and they will reciprocate with views. They will reciprocate with their attention if you give them something of value. If you don't give them anything of value, then you will not succeed on social. So number one is putting in your caption, putting in your title on your video, the value that you're going to bring and what that value will give to that person, right? So the quick part is that it's going to give you some quick information that you can use on your next piece of content. So, and oftentimes you have to look at your caption or your title on your video isn't necessarily exactly what you're going to be speaking on, right? Like, it should deliver on the same value, but what I mean is that it should be boiled down, right? So it should be the thing that really triggers people. And there's words that really get under people's skin, or words that really make people pay attention more so than any other. So really go take a look at what those words are. Usually they have to do with loss. We know that fear is one of the biggest things. So, if I put on the title, 5 quick tips for your content that are going to help you not miss out on views or miss out on this opportunity. I mean, I'm not saying I'm going to do that, but essentially that fear of missing out is very strong with people. So try to tap into fear more than opportunity, and those things maybe are closely tied. The second quick tip that I want to give you is that uh, Instagram specifically, and TikTok for a lesser extent, is a little bit about jealousy. So jealousy sort of drives a lot of our emotions. And you'll see this in social media. You'll see this in LinkedIn as well. Quite interesting. It's that jealousy plays a big part in who we interact with, who we like, who we share from. If we see somebody who is maybe a little bit above us in status, we're more likely to share that content, more likely to engage with that content, because we want to gain some status by doing that. The other thing is, when we were showing stuff online, it is largely a status thing. It's largely about what do we have that other people don't. And this is a really interesting one, because it treads this line between basically, do you want to invoke jealousy with your content? If you want to, you'll see a lot of people posting with their Lamborghinis and crap. And I'm not really talking about that. I'm talking more about, uh, you know, showcasing a life that is maybe upscaled a bit, right? We see this all the time, like doing it for the gram. And largely social media is based a little bit on that, right? When you're posting something on Facebook, you're essentially like showing off to the world, hey, this is my family, this is my house, this is my, and we just have to recognize that all of this is for attention. And if your content can fit into that, if your content can help people increase their status through tips, through doing better on social, if your content can highlight you as having higher status, then usually that's going to trigger people's emotions. So see what you can do with jealousy, and not in a evil genius sort of way, but just recognize that a large part of what we do on social is related to status. Number 3, this quick tip is about reciprocation. So when you're getting attention on social, you're getting comments, you're getting likes, you're getting shares, you're getting DMs, whatever it is. Make sure that you're always reciprocating with more, with added value. Like, don't just like comments, don't just like a DM or heart a DM. Actually engage in the conversation and bring more to the table. I was reminded of this a few weeks ago when my daughter texted me, and instead of saying, the typical dad response, which is a thumbs up, like, sounds good, let's do that. I decided to instead give it a little bit more, like, oh, that's right, that was such a fun memory and that was really cool. Maybe we should do that again some other time, and let's find a date for that. So it's giving back to your audience, and people love that reciprocation, right? It's not just a heart, it's not just a thumbs up, but it's an engagement that we get real pleasure from. So don't forget to comment, and reply to all of those DMs and all of those comments, because that is going to be massive for you, because also it drags people back to your content. So when somebody views their comment, they're viewing your content again. So, replying brings them back to your content, and that's going to up your engagement and up your views on your content. So too many brands, too many businesses, too many creators, they just leave their comments and they don't do anything. They might even just heart it, but in the notifications, it just shows that somebody liked your comment, right? It doesn't actually bring you back to the content. So I would try to reply to everything. Fourth tip, and I'm almost coming to the end here. I know this is a long video, but fourth tip is really centered around when you are producing content, you have to understand that not everything is going to be great. Not everything is going to be a winner. You have to look at social media like a sandbox, like it's a tryout. Like, not everything is going to do great. Some things will flop. So make sure that you understand that, and that you are always constantly thinking about sandboxing and thinking about, okay, what's the next thing I can try? What's the next thing I can do? And don't put all of your emotions and all of your ego into one post, because the reality is that it's not that serious. And the reality is that you have another chance at bat tomorrow. So just keep publishing, keep trying. Volume and consistency are way more important. So just trying things out, getting it out there, figuring out what works, figuring out what doesn't work, that's more important than the results on a daily basis. You're looking at results on a monthly, 3-month, year sort of basis, right? So really looking at it long term and looking at it from a bigger perspective will really help you. And make sure you don't get burnt out, because the thing that a lot of creators face is that burnout of just, basically stopping because, oh, that video only got 1,000 views or only got 100 views. Why would I keep going? I mean, this is pointless. And the reality is, like, just keep going. You will unlock those secrets, those things. You will find stuff that works, and that's the truth. Last tip, number 5. Thank you for sticking this far. I know it's been a long one, so I really appreciate it. And it comes down to this, which is number 5. Try different formats. Try long form. Try short form. Try entertainment. Try more edutainment. Try more education. Try different things out that are different formats. Try the feed versus the reels. Try the image-based stuff. I really think that a lot of people just don't experiment also with when the new stuff comes out. So Instagram, TikTok, Facebook in some cases, LinkedIn, they will reward you for using new formats. They will reward you for using new tools that they have, right? We've heard it that, if you use the captions or the edit app, from Instagram, that you will perform better, or the CapCut one from TikTok. And using new tools, using new features within those apps will actually give you a little bit of a boost. So don't be afraid of taking a look at those new features and going, oh, I can try this out and add this, whether that's everything as small as, adding links into the video, or trying TikTok Shop. I mean, that's a bigger deal, but trying out different formats as they come out, trying out different tools as they come out, things for your stories, things for your feed. Just keep, on top of what tools are coming out, because usually the platform wants to boost that and get that to more people, so they like it when you use those tools. So there's some quick tips for you guys on how to do better with content, how to increase the views on your content. I hope you like these longer form talks. I really hope that they help you guys. Let me know in the comments if there's one thing that really has helped you, or one thing you'd like me to talk about in the next video, and I'll do a deeper dive into things as we get going, because I love deeper dives into this stuff. So thanks so much for watching, and see you guys in the next one.